What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Wapo, and we are at another exciting, and I'm sure you'll be excited because this is a very, very excitable episode because today I am with the innovator of excellence, and I'm going to add the new innovator of excellence because we're going to discuss that he was given that moniker by somebody that's very important to him. Dante Black, Mari Sacco, correct? Or did I say it wrong?
Mirai Psycho.
Mirai Psycho. Okay, I'm sorry about that. How you been, man? How you been?
I've been good, just chilling. You know, watching the whole EFED game, this universe that we live in, just strive throughout every different company that there is out there.
Yeah, you've been everywhere, man. I'll tell you, man. Like I said, I've watched you grow personally because there was a time where you was learning, like. Literally, like I said something about your little beard. You look like you growing up before my eyes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but you've been, you've been successful everywhere you went. I mean, you know, win or lose. I mean, you just brought the fight. It's always fun to watch. And I've said tons and tons of times, you probably got one of the best intros. You and McFly have probably one of the best intros in the game right now. And on top of that, you guys are the most exciting to watch right now because you guys are, you're growing. Now, How does it feel? Because I know you had VPW for about 2 years. Was it about 2 years or about more than that?
Coming up on September of this year, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, see, so you on top of you being a co-owner, right? Because you're co-owner with your girlfriend, and
with my partner.
Yeah, and that you're doing that, and you're competing. Now, when you compete, are you competing solely because you still love the sport, or is it kind of like a little, you're looking for more people to join your group?
It's not for looking for people to join the group. I absolutely love this. Like, I did backyard wrestling when I was a kid. I did a little bit in the indies up in Nampa Pro Wrestling before I got injured. And then I moved to Oregon, and that's where I found EFEDs, because it wasn't really that much of a promo talker other than the stuff I did against other YouTubers going back and forth before going to different events.
Right.
And funny enough, who introduced me, I don't know if you've watched a show called ESW on YouTube. He's an indie wrestler, and he was one of the main roster members there. His name was Jax Amadeus. Randomly, just in a random group, TikTok group around TikTok, he sends in a video of an intro. He's like, "This is my new intro." And I was like, there's only one Jax Amadeus I know. So he calls me, and we talk for like 2 hours. And he tells me how he has a company called NRW, which is where I started. It was New Recruit Wrestling.
Right.
And that's where I first started. I didn't know landscape, portrait, so I would film in portrait. I'd film using the CapCut filters. I didn't start off as Dante Black. Started off as Dante Kenjin. I was called the Shattered Assassin.
Okay.
My slogan was "Don't fuck with the assassin." I have a shirt for it. It's somewhere around here. And some stuff happened there, and I got slowly introduced to more companies, to FTW, Full Throttle Wrestling. And then it was just one day I was just talking to Vid. I was like, I want to create our own company. My own company has been one of my dreams. And yeah, it was a stoner dream created by Vid. That we're full on just out of here. We were stoned. We were gone. Next you know, 10 minutes later, we have a page, Violence Pro Wrestling. and we had people help us with it, and then people just kept on rolling in. We have about on our page 330 members, I do believe, right now. We have an active roster between 40 to 60 at the moment. We have pretty decent shows, pretty decent viewerships. We do it differently than others. Like, we do judge, but we work in written storylines for the judge results, so it's played out more of like a wrestling show instead of like a normal comp show.
Right.
And promo is like, it became a passion of mine, like a love. I started getting critiques, feedback of how to change, how to improve. And it didn't happen until After Dark Network tore me apart on one of my promos in VPW, talking to my roster. They took that promo, they tore it apart, and a lot of people from that show, they expect them to, you know, say bad things back because they critique in a very harsh way.
Right.
They tear you apart. I just said, I agreed. I said, I'll take what you said, I'll work on it. You know, I'm like a sponge. Every critique that is given back to me, negative or good, to me, it's all positive in some way or another because it's going to help you improve no matter what. And the fact that I've only been doing this for a little bit over 2 years, it's been about 2 years and 2 months now. And from where I've started to where I am now is like leaps and bounds. And I truly love doing this. I go out there and the energy I have, the fire, the passion, it's not like, that's not a part of my character. That is just me in a whole. I absolutely love going out there, showcasing my talent, entertaining the fans and the viewers, keeping them drawn in to put on a good show. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. That's not what's important to me. Wins and losses are not the most important to me. Having titles are not the most important to me. It's going out there and having fun, enjoying what I put out. Because if you don't enjoy what you put out, then there's no reason to do what you are doing.
I think a lot of people forget that, and you know, and you say about the harsh judgment and all. Yeah, I mean, some people, that harsh criticism works, but there's other people that, you know, they take it, you know, they don't take it as, not people like, as people as strong as you are, you know. So it's kind of the way you. I mean, look at what it did. It made you successful, you know. But a lot of people don't have that backbone. What I like to say though is, yeah, like I said, I've watched you, and you do take, you know, criticism. You do take feedback. I don't like to say criticism. I like to say feedback because feedback, like you said, good or bad, that's what it is. It's feedback, and you, like I said, you strive. I know the way this community is because, man, the last couple of months, politically or whatever, has been rough. And I know as you being an owner, it's rough because you got all these different personalities. You know, you got people that don't want to work with certain people, and you got people that you know don't like people, and then you got to watch out who's judging and all that stuff. And you seem pretty calm about it. Like, how do you? Because I know you do yours differently. I've competed there, and I had nothing bad to say about it. But how do you? Because a lot of leagues, well, like I say, competitive leagues, they it goes out in the open. It's like you could tell that there's problems, but for some reason you guys keep it, like, I guess you nip it in the bud or whatever. But what do you guys do to stop that? Because you guys rarely have that little stuff going on over there.
So what we do in VPW, if there's issues and it comes from outside and it starts bringing between two other people and a roster member or multiple people, we give them a chance to hash it out in the chat. And if it hashes out in the chat and it stops, then that's good. But if they don't, then we give them a chance to really speak their mind, but it stays in VPW. It doesn't go anywhere else. We let them do full shoot matches, get out what they want to say. But after that is done, after they say what they want to say, if it's harsh, there's no rules about it. You can say what you want. So if you fully get a clear mind, after that, it's done. And that's how it's been. Like, after everyone gets what they need to say off their chest, it's ended right there. And 2 weeks later, sometimes later, those two people that were fighting that literally had a personal beef, not in character, a out of character beef, team up. Or they're creating a story together, wanting to build a big match series. And that's just how we've always done it. That's just what we've thought has been the best decision. Instead of taking it to other places, handle it right then and there in VPW and only in VPW. Because if it comes to different places, that's a different company. That has nothing to do with VPW. That has nothing to deal with SME. VPW is VPW. It's just that still in VPW, stay in VPW.
Right. and that's awesome. And like I said, like I said, I know Vita too. I know Vita and you personally. I know she don't like being mentioned a lot. That's why I haven't. Out of respect, I haven't mentioned her anyway. But I do
Mhm.
want to say one thing that she does that I like is she sees something, she nips in the bud. She says, you know what, I don't like you. She don't care who you are. She don't care how many stars you got, or if you're very popular. She kick your ass out, and that's the way it got to
Yep.
be. And I respect her for that. Um, you know, Now the thing about it is what do you? I know you guys are under that SME umbrella, um, and my show is very, I'm very, I want to be very like, I don't want to be for this person, this person, this person. This is totally different than the promo world. But
Mhm.
what do you like? Because there's a lot of division between a lot of places, and it's horrible because everybody goes everywhere in promos.
Yeah.
And I know and I see, I know you compete with a heavy heart, because I know there's a lot of people that say, hey, what I think about this, because I'm one of them. And you just, I mean, you're the kind of person that'd be like, I don't want in on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
so how do you feel? How do you feel about that? Do you ever have a uh, do you ever like regret going anywhere, like, or bringing people into the place that you know? Because I know you're about chances. You give chances, and I know there's people that you had to throw out of VPW because no matter what, but you still gave them a chance. I mean, what makes you think that they would change? I mean, is it because certain um admin or certain people running the place, or the respect? What do you think? How do you think that's
See, there's,
like?
there's different ways that people do it, and with me, I have had those times where I've either invited someone to a place or to VPW that I have regretted. Um, Especially ones who try to become really close friends with me, and they start calling me a brother or calling Vita a sister. And then we
Right,
find out stuff about them that they want to come visit, but they don't let us know everything about it. And it could affect not just that friendship, but personally.
right,
Like one example, which a lot of people know in VPW, is Negan Al Ghul.
right,
He was
yeah,
so close with us. One of his best friends, Dave Baker, was one of our really good friends. He passed away.
right,
He wanted to come visit with us, but we found after he wanted to come visit with us that he had a little bit of a record. I'm not going to say what it is,
right, right.
but him not telling us that and coming here, all it would have took is one person to look him up, and that could have cost our kids.
You won't
Yeah,
say it.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's, I mean, if you're a friend or whatever, they should tell you. I mean, granted, you know, because I mean, I was in a little situation like that. I knew somebody like that, and somebody told me before I went around my kids, and I was more pissed than anything, because not only of what he did and what his record was, but that he was giving his chance to be around my kids, and that's not cool. I remember when we first started, even though you was like, oh, you can't get. I mean, it even bothered. He's like, man, I can't get a win even if I bought one, But you tried, and look where you at now, man.
Exactly.
Look where you at now. You're one of the top here in the community, and everybody respects you for it.
I know
Um,
this happened almost a year ago, but still, this I'm never gonna forget this.
no, you never shouldn't. You should not. You
Like,
know what, that tournament was stacked. It was stacked.
and I was an underdog during this whole thing. Like I remember constantly in the comments during every single match. Oh, this is the one where he's gonna be took out. This is where he's gonna be took out. The final match, he's not getting past someone like DB. And the fact that I won that, and it was I earned it, and it's
You did.
like the first accolade that I earned in my career that I could look back on every single day, knowing how hard I tried, showing everyone that you could be new all you want, you could be considered an underdog, you can still win just by the sheer fire and determination and the passion that you show, and that's what took me there.
Right.
I heard everyone saying that they were doubting me. I didn't let it bother me. I just kept on doing what I did every single match that happened. I went out there and I did me. I did the best that I could, and it led me to winning this title.
And like I said, and you know what? Nobody should take that away from you. I mean, even though they say, "Oh, but that's not your greatest accomplishment," but that's one of the best. That's where you started. That, to me, I think that's where you cemented who you was. That's where your underdog status just disappeared. So
Mhm.
you can't use that. You're not an underdog anymore. So but um, like I said, what do you think? Like, what? Okay, you took part of the first ever FAFO tournament. Did you enjoy it? I mean, what did you think? Was you how'd you?
Oh yeah, it was different. It's like it was fun. There's a lot of tournaments you compete for, like buying championships or trophies, or you have to buy in for the money. This one, it was just going in and fun. It was literally just fuck around and find out. You
Yeah,
know, talk shit, have fun with it, try to beat your opponent. I didn't make it to the finals, not whatsoever, but I had some decent matches in it, and I was proud of how far I made. Because, like I said, in the end, yeah, it was $100 that could help, but it wasn't really the goal of I want to get there and be a winner. I wanted to do the best I could so that what you were showing was entertained.
yeah, man. Like I said, I enjoyed watching you, and you. I mean, like, what do you consider? Okay, you like I said, I don't care. You know, your VPW lasted 2 years. When you last more than 6 months, I consider that successful. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I see, like I said, I don't hear no rumblings, and I hear a lot of rumblings everywhere. But VPW stays in their lane, and that's cool. So, what do you see yourself actually outlasting a lot of these divisions, a lot of these competitions and stuff like that?
I mean, I'm not scared to say that. Yes, I do believe that we will outlast a lot of them because we're just different in the way that we do things. Our shows are different, our results are different, and it's just the way that we treat our roster, our communication. We communicate with everyone, not just inside the roster chat, but throughout the cards that are being worked on, because we do 2 week deadlines per show, so everyone has a chance to hype it up and then tell the story if they want to, if they want to do more than just one hype, and then their match promo without having to feel rushed. And we constantly, like, because I know everyone has a life, everyone can get jumbled around and lose track of time. Either me or Vita will send just quick little reminders out in the roster's DMs who are booked. Hey, just letting you know, you have this due or this due. You have until this time.
Right.
Like we say, everyone in VPW, we don't say it's just a roster. We say it's a family because there's so many people that, like myself and Vita, ever since joining this industry and creating VPW, we've gained family members, not just friends, but family that we've bonded with more than we probably have our whole lives. It's childs, teenagers, and adults. We just created this family that is just there for us in and out of character during our personal reasons, struggles, constantly being checked on. And it's just different from a lot of other companies that I see. I see it having a great future. Every show we get more viewers, we get more comments, we get more reactions. Every week, the posts, they get more reactions, the promos, everything. And combining under SME, it's not like they're in charge of VPW. We run our things our own way. That's just what we're under because of the people who are there, because we are very good friends with them. And it gave us an opportunity to bring more people in to showcase our talent, our shows, to a more wider universe of these all companies who are under SME, or who are like side by side SME. So
See,
it's just,
even though I don't personally myself agree with certain people that are there, I do think agree with the kind of structure that you have, because with that network you do have 7 other, whoever under the umbrella watching your product, which that's a good idea. I mean, and it's always good to network yourself with some people like that, without being totally attached to it, which is understandable. Like, you always got to have a network, like the promo network, whatever. Um, do you ever plan? Because I don't think I maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but has VPW ever like had a show with like a combination, like say, I'm just gonna VPW versus, let's say, a foundation or whatever. Have you ever did something like that before with another company?
We haven't really done that yet, but we are planning on doing something like that. Like currently, we have some VPW matches being under another SME company being portrayed in there. Just a few matches to show that bond, that togetherness that we all have. We want to create this huge big family, and that's under Mayhem. We have a couple of VPW matches under Mayhem where some people on Mayhem are getting a shot to earn a number one contendership for some VPW titles. But like, we want to eventually do like a full on like VPW versus this place or this place, because I know it'll give a lot of people who don't get that chance to get out there and face these other people, give them more experience, newer experience. Maybe it's better competition, it's better challenges, and it's new storylines that they can create in their mind and just change it up for him so it's not the same thing.
I mean, that also gives people like people that don't that just strictly and exclusively go for BBW. Not because you say it's exclusive, but that's who they go for, and also gives them a taste in the water of facing other people and not outside of their comfort zone, which helps them, you know, go other places, which helps that out. Now, speaking of that, and I've asked this for everybody that I had interviewed. What do you think about the whole everybody? I don't believe in exclusivity. I believe that we don't get paid, so we should go wherever we want. But in high sense, don't you think it waters down the product a little bit because let's say me and you face each other foundation, and me and you face each other at VPW, then me and you face each other at BWO. Doesn't it like just just water down yours and mine as well? Because what are we going to say to each other if we face each other 6 times a week? What do you do? What would you do to try to change that? I know what I would try to do, but what would you try to do to try to change that? What do you think would help?
So like what I would do is if I'm like say it's VPW and I face someone in VPW, if I go to somewhere and face them there again, and then it's another company, I see there as well potential to face there.
Right.
Honestly, I'd go to an admin or an owner of that company and let them know, hey, I've faced this person here constantly the last couple of weeks. Can there be something different so it's not like a repetitive story? You're running out of stuff to say because it's over and over and over again. Yes, it's different companies, but it's the same person that's in front of you. So it's hard to figure out different stuff to say. It's like, I said this that week, now I have to say this week, then I have to say this. What differences can I make? So I try to go like owners or members or admins that own the company or help run the company and let them know that, I don't want this to run stale. Like I like facing this person, but I want there to be a chance to build something new for me to think of something new to say against them so I can watch the product, see what they do so I can have more notes of what to say next time I encounter with them.
Right. And that's the thing too, is if you face somebody, it just, to me, I think eyes kind of wander after that because they're like, man, I seen this last week or I've seen this before. I don't want to see it again. So then you're putting other matches in jeopardy that are, must sees or stuff like that. So yeah, I think a lot of that destroys a lot of integrity. Not integrity. A lot of just it just destroys the product to me. But we really can't, like you said, whoever wants to compete, you're going to have to put on the card, and eventually, yeah, you do have to face the same person. But I think as an owner or whoever has, you guys should be like watch the product. I think if you're an owner, you should watch the product and say, hey, look, this guy looked like he faced this guy here, so maybe I don't want to do that there. And I think that's what that's what should happen. But I like I don't agree, and like I said, without name dropping, I don't agree with people saying, "Oh, you only should stay here and that's it, and if you go anywhere else, you're gone." I don't agree.
Yes, with that. I don't agree with exclusivity. I've never told someone to not be exclusive to VPW or to someone else. I always tell them, I don't control you. I'm not paying you. You're doing this because you want to. I can't tell you to go here or to stay here or not go there. I mean, if I've been to somewhere that I know it's not a good experience that could cause harm between different companies that don't get along, I'll mention something like that. Like I'll give them a warning, but like you can go there, but just know this could possibly happen.
Right.
I don't say no, you can't go there or you're gone. No, but if you want to go there, go ahead. Just please keep up with what you're doing with VPW or with other SME companies. Don't just let that die down and let this other company take control. Make sure you don't spread too thin where you can't do the same effort for everywhere else. Like if you're doing effort 100% in one company and then you're in another company, but you've joined too many, you start cutting down on the efforts you give, then it's not really worth it because you want to be able to put out your best every single time.
Right. Because if you notice, when I first started, I was freaking everywhere. I mean, I had sometimes 6, 7 promos a week, and I'm like, dude, now I just like sometimes I do BWO, sometimes I do because I do it not because I don't like it, not because I hate it, or because I'm tired of it. I do it because, just like you said, you don't want to water down. You don't want, because be as it may, it still affects your product. It affects who you are. Because if you spreading yourself thin, people will look at you like, you know what I'm saying? And that's, I feel like I'm protecting my brand because we have a brand. All of us have a brand, and that's what we have to protect. Um, but yeah, so like drafts and stuff. Do you believe in that stuff like that? You think a draft would work in a promoverse like this, or not?
It depends if you have the right people, if everyone agrees on it, or like if there's a company and have two different shows, then yeah, that would work. If there's enough to split between evenly, or to make it evenly enough between two different shows, like I think like with how Foundation did Prototype and Blueprint, if those were two different rosters, it would have worked out a lot better than what it is.
Right,
What
right,
I want to do with BTW, like I'm working on having Limit Break, which is our judge show, and then for those who want to stick to more storyline, we have Psych Ward, and there's going to be different people that are on one show and then on the other, so that way they're not double booked, they're not overbooked, they're not feeling overstressed.
that actually sounds like it'll work. Like especially when, like you said, you're gonna branch out because you have what you said. How many people? 60 people. You said how
We
many
have
people?
between 50 to 60 active roster members.
I mean, heck, and making them a show, splitting them up. 20 here, 20 there. I mean, in fact, like everybody can have about a month off. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to work. So I mean that'll work perfect. And I'm sure there's people that don't like story too much. They like competition. But what you're doing anyway is is you are having a comps, but you're just making a story and making the judge's story, making a judgment a story. So basically, it's
Mm-hmm.
not really a story. It's just you're just acting out the result.
Yeah.
Which I mean, and that's what a lot of people misinterpret too, because they will be like, "Oh, it's storyline. I'm gonna lose." No, what you're doing is you're just acting on a result. That's all you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's cool, and I agree with 100%. Um, there's a lot of people that I never faced on your side of SME, but there's other people that kind of make me not want to face other people on that side. So
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I don't have no hard feelings. I don't, stuff happen, things happen, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's all a game. We all should care about each other because we all love the same thing. We all love the same thing. That's what we're doing. We're all on the same concept. We have everything the same in common. Why hate on somebody? You know what I mean? Um, but is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to let out there? What you know?
Um, I know it's one thing you brought up when you introduced me, and it was talking about the innovator of excellence and what that means to me. So, in the 2 years I've been doing this, the constant mentor that I had was DJB. He's been doing this for a hell of a long time. He didn't have to teach me anything. He could have just saw me and just left me beside, but he saw something and he took me to the side and he taught me constantly. I went to him, like, give me feedback on this, let me know what I can do to improve. And the fact that someone he has had, which he's in a couple Hall of Fames, he's had a legacy, he's made one, he's had a very historic career, and that he's been looking for someone to pass down that name, the innovator of excellence, and that I'm that person that he chose for that, to hand that down to me, where the words when he spoke, he said, "You're no longer the protege. The teacher is now the student." It humbled me. I felt really it felt really big in my heart, and it made me emotional because I never thought I'd be that far, especially with how long I've been doing this. I haven't been doing this that long, because there's plenty of other people who've been doing this twice, 10 times as long as me. And to see where I'm at now, knowing that I haven't hit my peak, I'm still improving. I'm still looking for ways to adapt, to evolve, to get to that next level, because there's competition out there. And any day, I say this with anyone, they could lose horribly against you, but all it takes is one moment, then come back and then get that over you. You never want to have that mindset of you can never be beat. Take my match against Bones at Hope.
Right.
I know I was 100% doubted, like I was not going to get that win. A lot of people thought I was not going to, but undefeated Bones, not taking a single loss in 2024. He went out there, he did his damnedest. I did a different approach for it. And the fact that I was able to give Bones that first loss, it didn't like give that ego of, oh, I beat someone who's been undefeated. Now I can't be stopped. No, it was that one time. I know any given day, if me and Bones face again, he could beat me. It could be the outcome differentiating every single time. And we respect each other. He has respect for me. I have respect for him. We both respect that match. And it's just the way that my mindset is. I never think that I'm always at the top. I never think that there's nowhere else I can go to improve. There's always ways that you can improve your craft, improve your game, your wordplay, your flow, your delivery, and you just always have to think that, or else you're going to be stuck in a stalemate, and you don't want to be there, because then that glass wall would just be there stopping you. You want to find a way to push past it, no matter how long it tries. You never give up. You don't quit, and that's the one thing with me. If I get beaten down brutally, I lose 10, 20 points. A lot of people I know, they'll take that as a bad thing. They'll say they feel upset about themselves. They feel down on themselves. It's like with SNES. I've faced him I don't know how many times, 8, 9 times. I'm 0-8 or 9 against that guy, but I constantly message him, message other people. I will get that win over SNES one day, and I will earn it. And when I do, it's gonna feel that much bigger because the story has been I've tried constantly. He's beaten me over and over again. It's like you with the one fucking point.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Get what you're doing. And there'll be that day where that one fucking point will no longer be there, and it'll feel so much better because you've traveled to get to where you are.
Right, right. It's a story within itself, and that's what I love about you. You got that strive. You're always striving for greatness, and that's another thing I want to tell you. That thing that you always say. It was just a saying, but now it's a way of life with you. Never get out alive. What you say that all the time. What does that really, really mean to you?
It's a buddy of mine. He was also part of ESW. His name was Osiris. He was a backyard wrestler in Extreme Showdown Wrestling. His finishing move was the NGOA. It was the super kick, and he'd always say, "Nobody gets out alive." It was handed down to me, and that's not me saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna go in there and you're not going to walk out alive. You're not going to have a chance of beating me." No, that is me saying that when you face me, you will remember it. It will be a match that you won't forget, knowing that you had to do your damnedest, that I pushed you to usual levels that you didn't have to go to, because that's what it's trying to do. I want to push people to go beyond where they think their capabilities are. And that's truly what NGOA means to me, is that nobody gets out alive being the same or leaving the same as they entered.
Awesome. And that's I knew you had some certain because I know when you say it because you have a meaning behind it. And especially when you have it etched in forever, so it means
Mhm.
something. But yeah, like I said, you wanted to. Like I said, I've watched you. I've done this maybe 2 years longer than you have, and when you first started, yeah, I mean you, I haven't said it. I said you, McFly, Saban, you guys every time. No, not to be offensive, but everybody's like, oh, that's an easy win, and it kind of was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But now it's to see you guys on top that warms my heart because that's like, you know what? I feel like I'm passing the torch. I feel like
Mhm.
it's really what I want to do. I'm not in it to. I've won. You've seen I've won championships. I've held them all. I to me that doesn't make me what makes me is somebody like McFly actually getting his big win over me. Somebody watching you strive and doing what you do because of what the history we have. Stuff like that. Even Saban when he first came in, uh, he had the gift of gab, but he just didn't. He was just everywhere with it. But
Mhm.
now he's found his way, and it just. I mean, that I just like to see that. I mean, I just to me when I stop promoting, I'm gonna constantly do this because I want to do. I like doing this. Just like Buck said at Promomania. When I look in the mirror, I'm not a promo artist. I'm a content creator. I love
Mhm.
it. That's awesome. But um, I I would like to. This is what I like to see. I'm a fan of our craft. I'm a big fan of you. I'm a big fan of everything that goes on here. You know, and I just want to keep you. I want you to keep doing what you're doing because man, like the day you ever have that doubt in your mind is the day I'm. It would mean like, damn, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want you to just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Just win loss, keep that chin up because I mean, you still win or loss. It's still great to watch you, man. I don't care what. I don't care. I don't care if you lose by 50 points. So whenever you're on that screen, you have that presence. I hear you. I hear your intro. I sit down. I could be on my phone and I'll see an intro and I'll sit down and watch. I'll sit down and watch because I'm like, yo, because you got that, the way you talk and everything. Everything's cool. You know. I think to me, what one of your biggest problems is, as what I see as a fan, is when because I know you go to places where there's a lot of wrestling and stuff, but when you go to the other promos, the other places, a lot of judges say, "Oh, this is not a wrestling ring." So I think that's what hurts you a little bit.
Mhm.
But everybody loves your crap, dude. I mean, nobody says anything negative about you, bro, and that's what I love to see, man. But now's the time. I like to give my guests the floor to say whatever they want. They can plug, they can talk shit, they can cry, do whatever they want to do.
For whoever
So,
wants to, go check out VPW. Like I said, it's something we've been building for 2 years. Me and Vita, we're insanely proud of it. This one right here, I'm what they have gone through and what they do for VPW is just outstanding. And I just want to leave with like, there's a lot of people out there who want their legacies to be off based off their wins, their losses, what championships they won, who they beat. That's what they want to be remembered for. Me, that's not what I want. What I always want people to remember me when it is my time to go, which it ain't going to be for a long time. I got a long time to go. When it finally is that time, when I walk away, I want people to remember is that was Dante Black. He didn't quit. He didn't stop. No matter how bad he lost, no matter how much he won, he wanted to always improve and further the future of the game so that other people coming into this can take notice and learn to build that next future for the foundation of this industry.
awesome. I got one more question before we go. Will you ever get back in that ring physically?
I want to, yes,
You
I
want to?
really do.
Because I know you said
I
you had a ring and you had a ring and you was doing that.
I have not been able to do physical therapy for my shoulder from my injury that I had in Oregon on a bad longboarding accident. They forgot my physical therapy after a month. My first visit, they completely forgot. So I still have a pretty bad shoulder, so I can't really do anything yet. But me doing my parkour, the training I do, it helps, but it's not to a point of where I can clear myself to be able to start training again. Because one simple thing, if it's not done correctly, I can be back out again. And I truly do want to get back in the ring someday. It's something I love, and this helps me want to get back there. The promos, the passion, it helps me improve for when I'm in those times where I need to be in the ring. I need to speak to keep the crowd drawn in, like in between matches or building up a match, because there's two parts of being an in-ring wrestler. Not only do you have to be able to wrestle, have to move around the ropes, know the ring, you have to be able to talk and to keep fans drawn in, or else they will not care about you.
Right, right, and that's one thing we love to do too. Um, and I know it's, but one more question because I like one more question. I got one question. Do you think this place could actually? You think we could take off? Like this is a question I asked all my guests actually. We had pillow fighting, the e games, slap fighting. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that we can actually be big enough to be on that stage, just like everybody else? I do. I think we do. What do you think?
I do. I've seen it before. Like, there's a couple places that I've in the past of GWF, which is a company under SME and SWA. There's been matches that have been hashing storylines, but the matches have actually been like they've traveled to each other to actually play out a cinematic match in real life, where it's like if you're in a backyard or in a garage, it's still playing it out. So I think that's actually very possible to do if someone has the dedication enough to do it. And that's one thing that I'd love to do with VPW. If someone wants to do that, I'd love to be able to have the stuff to fly them down, to actually have that occur. Because I have rings. They're just not accessible right now. I don't have places to put them where they could actually go in a ring where I could help them learn successfully. I have other people that I know that could help train them successfully. So that'd be something I actually see that could happen if plenty of people want to put that dedication into trying it.
Like wouldn't it be awesome just to see have like a mock ring or something and have instead of screen promos have actually people go to those little screens and actually face off and have live judges and stuff. Wouldn't that be awesome to have Just
That'd
something
be
like
really cool.
that. I mean, I mean, who knows? Maybe me and you would be one of the people that helped build this place, and all of a sudden it gets big, and we won't be able to be competing, but we can say, hell, we was there before it took off.
Exactly.
But anyways, this has been another episode of the Fine Print. Dante Black and Murray Saki, right? I'm sorry, Mary Psycho.
Yeah, Mirai Psycho.
Marai Psycho. I'm sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name, but this is
It
Marai
means
Psycho,
it means the future devil.
Future Devil. Yeah, that's right. He was telling me about that. Um, and like I said, it's been a great interview, like always. Catch
Glad
Dante.
to be able to come on here. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. Catch Dante Black on FPW and everywhere else, but FPW is his home. And hell, I'm sure if you want to ever compete or whatever, just talk to this man right here. And
Yep.
I'm sure.
We're more than welcome to have people come over to VPW, and we just want you to have fun. We want you to feel welcome.
Well, like I said, this has been Dante Black. This has been a Wapo, and I will see you next weekend. Thanks a lot again, bud.